1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
Do we got it going on?
Barely.
It's on, like Donkey Kong, buddy. As we get into this Thursday, we're going to talk with Rich Perlberg.
And who are we?
We're the people sitting in front of this camera.
Right. Otherwise known as Mike and John Got It Going On.
That's who we are. Right?
Yeah.
I knew you'd come up with the right answer.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're Mike and John Got It Going On, brought to you by Jordan Genso. Who's Jordan Genso, you say?
Who is Jordan Genso, I say?
Community servant, community realtor, and official Giggle Realtor. Exclusive Giggle Realtor, Jordan Genso. You could say Jordan's got it going on, too, if you like.
Well, you could.
So last night in trivia, did you scan through and come up with the right answer?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Oh.
Did you answer it in your head and say, was I right or wrong?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
No.
No? So you didn't have the right answer? You didn't even look?
I just,
you didn't even look?
I
see how you are. All right. We're going to do a little drumming a little bit later on today. We'll get to our 2-cent history lesson. And the big news concerning HGTV is that that remodeled Brady Bunch house they did a series on.
Right.
It's up for sale.
Oh, wow.
If only we could do the podcast from the Brady Bunch house. Wouldn't that be fun?
Right. Now, this is where they took the house that was used in the outside shots.
Right.
Right. And then they redid it on the inside to look like.
To make it would look like the real inside of the Brady.
Because
Of course,
it didn't look like that. It was a set, obviously.
just like this.
Someday HGTV will be here.
Wouldn't it be cool if they came in and said,
redoing this just like our set.
You too, can get your house remodeled.
Oh boy,
like
the
that.
expense that they'll have to put into that.
The asking price is $5.5 million for those that are interested.
It's
in having
California,
a few
man.
Bucks laying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interior looking like 1970s.
Oh, groovy.
Yeah, paneling and shag carpet.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes, and a telephone on the wall in the kitchen and Alice's little hideaway bedroom. Wow. All right, let's get the show on the road, shall we? It's time for local news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. Work on the downtown Brighton streetscape project has run into issues that have put the scheduled work behind schedule. But according to the city's website, contractors have run into several buried underground structures and utilities that were not known to have existed. Additionally, the structures are intertwined with the existing AT&T lines and old gas main, and in some cases, they're encased in cement or cement is very close to them. The electrical work has to be completed first before the irrigation and road bed can be prepared. Another issue affecting the schedule are material delays. Early material delays with storm pipe and current delays of dolomite wall block and electrical panels have resulted in the contractor to search out different vendors to try and stay on schedule. A motorcyclist who was killed in a crash Monday night in Howell Township has been identified. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office said 33-year-old Kyle Dinius of Adrian died of injuries suffered in the crash. Happened about 10 p.m. Monday in the area of West Grand River and West Highland Road. According to authorities, a preliminary investigation indicated a Chevy Traverse traveling east on West Grand River failed to yield while turning into the Tomato Brothers restaurant. The Traverse was then hit by a Harley Davidson traveling west on Grand River. The driver of the Traverse, 46-year-old Alicia Holbrook Bloink of Howell, suffered no injuries. Dinius was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. His passenger, 69-year-old Nancy Sloan of Howell, had life-threatening injuries. Sheriff Mike Murphy says she is no longer critical. Alcohol does not appear to be a contributing factor in the crash, which remains under investigation by the Livingston County Sheriff's Office Traffic Safety Bureau. Sheriff Murphy, though, says a report on the crash will be sent to the prosecutor's office for review. Their preliminary investigation, though, shows that Holbrook Bloink was at fault. Now, Holbrook Bloink was sentenced last year to jail time in a felony embezzlement case that was filed by the Michigan Attorney General's office. Authorities say she defrauded clients of more than $375,000 between 2015 and 2018 through her firm, Holbrook Insurance Agency. She was ordered to serve 4 months in the Livingston County Jail as well as 3 years of probation. Also had to pay restitution. And a Brighton woman battling cancer got a more than pleasant surprise Wednesday with a gifted trip to see Taylor Swift. Mark Howell of Fun to Life live streamed the surprise visit to the home of 21-year-old Maddie Odom, who was recently diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Howell started the organization in 2012 when he was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma and was given just weeks to live. The community then stepped up to raise over $200,000, which allowed him to seek treatments outside the restrictions of his health insurance. He now raises money through Fund to Life to help families and individuals in crisis have some of that same financial freedom. So Wednesday's visit was a little different than his usual presentations, as he and various partners were able to acquire a suite at the Taylor Swift concert next month at Ford Field in Detroit, so that she and 7 guests can enjoy the show. In the video, Howell surprised Odom with the concert tickets, but then said he had another reason to be there and told her his story, concluded by saying no matter how dark your journey gets, no matter what happens to you, there are miracles that happen, saying that there are brighter days ahead, and we want to be here to support you and get you through them. Odom said she was grateful for the visit and the concert excursion and definitely planned to take her mom to the show. And you can see the video, by the way, on our website, MikeandJohnPodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. And Mark Howell, just a great gem to have in the community. And I know Mark friends with the Binkleys as well. At Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, they are having the final day of their Antiques Roadshow style event. Today is the final day, so if you've got old gold jewelry, silver, diamonds lying around, they've got people there to evaluate it and value it for you. You want to trade it in? Want to make a few bucks? You can do so today at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. You need more details, you can find it on their website, cooperandbinkley.com, or always check out their Facebook page for the latest happenings at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. Matter of fact, the month of May is Emerald Month. If your birthstone for the month of May is emerald.
Those are green.
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
We learned that.
Thank you.
Through their Facebook page.
Okay.
I see you're wearing your emerald shirt.
Because it's Emerald Month, yeah. Clearly.
It's the birth month of May.
Planned this well in advance, yeah.
So stop by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. Now in the news, you had the story of the delays. Now, who would have thought that construction would be delayed here in Michigan for this, that, or the other thing, and things underground that they didn't know were there?
The interesting thing about...
there wasn't anything suspicious.
Well, there have been... there's been talk in the past that when they had to fill in that area many, many, many years ago for the Mill Pond area to put Main Street in there because that was not...
Was it swampy?
Yeah, it was, the mill pond was there and it was not, so they had to fill in that area to be able to put in some of those structures in the street.
And they were just like, throw anything you got.
Apparently, yeah, they were throwing things in. I guess there was a rumor that they were even putting old, Model Ts, old junked Model Ts. Because they're like, just fill this hole with anything.
You got an old rust bucket, a tractor you no longer need?
Yeah.
We need to make streets.
Right. And so,
we need
I don't know. I mean,
wow.
I don't want to start any rumors, but, if they come across a 75 Continental, it could be Jimmy Hoffa in there.
Don't start that rumor. Remember, was it Milford a few years ago?
That way you get the FBI to pay.
Oh, I see. Yes,
that's how you do it.
Sure, that won't delay it any longer either.
Well, there's that.
All right, so yeah, more delays. So they don't have really a real end date or target.
Well, I mean, they wanted to get back up and get part of it, at least the street open to some traffic. I think by the end of the summer.
If you have dirt bikes now,
was what they're hoping for. I'm saying this is a perfect time for somebody to open up a helicopter company.
Drop them off.
Short hops from one end of Main
TC.
Street to the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Brighton hoppers.
Okay.
Just the hopper chopper taking you to and from businesses and restaurants in downtown.
Yeah, and as we've been talking about all this month, talking to the various downtown Brighton businesses, and they are.
It's tough, and this extends it, unfortunately.
It really does, and I was actually talking with Barb Binkley just yesterday, talking about the
emeralds.
Oh yeah, clearly
the jewelry. Event?
She calls me all the time for my expertise on gemstones. No, she does not.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we were talking about just the business and the construction, everything, and and I said, God, this is like COVID for you guys, and she goes, it's not. She goes, it's worse because she goes, with COVID, it was a level playing field. In other words, all these Brighton businesses, they've got. There's other restaurants, there's other places that, people can go to shop for various items.
Sure.
And so with these businesses being impacted the way they are, it really hurts in that sense. And so I just, again, emphasizing that parking is down there. And I thought what Steve Pylon said yesterday on the show kind of really did sort of bring it home, which was, how often did you park on Main Street anyway?
Yeah, like I said, there's only a few parking spots, the parallel spots in front of businesses anyway. And so more than likely you were parking in one of the back lots.
Right, and all the other parking lots are available to you. These are the ones that I would dare say more than 90% of people parked in anyway, are still available to you. Look, I've been to downtown Brighton several times here in the last couple of weeks, and every time I've found a spot to park. It's not that big a deal. And so, again, for those folks, I think, that are somewhat put off by it, they just go, I don't want to deal with Brighton right now. I mean, it is very much a doable thing. And to support these businesses, we talk about supporting local. We talk about we want to make sure that, local community is well knit together. These local businesses, these locally run businesses have a lot to do with that. So, again, we just want people to show their support where they can. And so Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, of course, a prime example of a community partner in downtown Brighton.
Hey, well, we also want to remind folks, our own Susan Cougar is going to be performing tonight at Captain Joe's in Whitmore Lake.
Right.
6 to 9 tonight. So meet Cougar in person. You can ask her any questions you'd like about John and I.
Right.
Or
you know what?
Act like you don't know us.
Get a selfie with Cougar.
Yeah, that's
and
a
then
good
tag
idea.
us.
I like that.
Yeah, on Facebook. Or email us or send us those pictures.
Yeah, send us a picture of you and Cougar doing a duet.
Right. So, Cougar at Captain Joe's, 6 to 9 p.m. Thursday night.
All right, last night and Wednesday night trivia. All correct guessers get in tomorrow's drawing for those $100 in gift certificates and gift cards, courtesy of Jordan Genso. Trivia brought to you by OG sponsor, Firehouse Doors, serving Livingston County for over 25 years with unparalleled service and products. 8 out of 10, that's 80% for those that can't do the math.
Hold on, let me get my calculator.
80% of people surveyed said, and this is what I found was interesting, that 80% of people said this. They said they would rather give up watching TV, shopping, and their cell phone if they could have this. So giving up all those three things for this, and you really don't have to give up these three things to get this. What was the answer?
Yeah, it is 80%.
Correct. You get a stop.
I just did the calculations, so yeah, just want to make sure.
An adequate pension, said Karen. Pensions. Do they even have those anymore?
That's funny.
Mona said a full night's sleep.
Oh, my God.
If you put down the cell phone and you turn off the TV, you probably could get a good night's sleep.
You could, but if you have kids, more likely to get a pension.
Whitney said a loved one back. Now, I think that's a great answer.
Well,
a lot of us may have thought that, but it's not. It wasn't something that's really feasible. This is something that can happen.
Right. Beth, along those same lines, said, eternal life. Okay.
Stick around forever?
Don't you think you get bored after a while? Oh, boy.
Didn't we go through this a couple of centuries ago? Debbie said, true happiness.
True happiness.
It's all in caps, so it must be very important. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Michael said a cabin in the woods. It's funny. Sometimes you see those memes on Facebook or whatever. It'd be like, this cabin in the woods. Would you give up everything to live in this cabin in the woods for like $1 million?
No, because that's where the killers are. They come and get you in the woods. You have no electricity.
Yeah.
Barely good water.
I don't know. It's like, where's the Wi-Fi? This tree isn't really a great Wi-Fi. I don't know what is going on here.
Don said a remote vacation home, so that could be, similar to the cabin, but this one just a vacation home, which a lot of people are probably opening up this weekend. Let's see what else. Regular visits and family dinners from your kids who have grown and flown the coop. That's a good guess, too. Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes you might say, no, we'll just we'll have pizza without you.
Madonna said a paid-for home on the beach in Hawaii. Madonna's clearly thought this through. Yeah. That'd be nice. I mean,
especially if it's paid for.
Yeah, that's the whole deal.
Jeff said to be healthy. Cindy said retirement. Patricia said $1 million.
Right. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't be in a basement. Brian said no debt.
That would be nice.
That would be nice to hear.
It can be done.
Yeah.
Kimberly said a maid. Katie said world peace.
Alice?
she's in that room
the
back
Brady
there.
Bunch, you know.
Karen said kids. You give up all that for kids because some people
that's true.
have trouble.
Yeah. And
Or they want more. More the merrier.
what is wrong with you?
Wendy said coffee. You can get that without all the giving up everything like that.
And Lori said their pet. You know.
Pets are pretty loyal. Where's Rocky been these days? I haven't seen him.
Is
he under the road in Brighton?
He's with mommy.
I see.
Yeah.
He's mommy's boy today.
Yeah, oh my God, every day. I'm just a poor substitute till mom comes home. He's like, he launches off me. Mom's home. You know,
I
come home too, you
fella.
know. Yeah. Just
You smell like beef jerky. Maddie said
that's why he
true
hangs
love.
out with me, actually.
Where's all the beef jerky? Maddie said true love. Give it all up for true love.
Now, I did see, we had one correct answer at least, right?
I think we had a couple.
Okay.
We'll go with, I know Pamela said the correct answer was a flat stomach or flat tummy. I think Dan said abs of steel. I think that would probably fall into that category.
I see Karen, Mary also said lean, flat belly or something.
All right. So they will all be in the drawing tomorrow morning for the gift certificates, courtesy of Jordan Genso, official Giggle Realtor. Of course, if you need help buying or selling a home here in Livingston County, Jordan's the one to call.
Is he, though?
That's what he told us to say. So I
that's
believe
right.
he is.
He
Yes,
is.
he
You're
is
right.
the
I
one to
forgot.
call.
Yes, that is true. Community serving community realtors.
And that number?
248
Yes.
444
Yes.
9777.
See, there's really only 3 numbers you need to know in that. Your 4s, your 9, and your 7s.
Very good. Let me do the calculations. No.
80% of people probably won't remember that. So say it again, John.
They probably won't.
Say it again, John.
248
All right.
444 9777.
All right, so Rich Perlberg usually joins us on Thursdays for the Less You Know,
Right.
and we usually end up knowing less than when we started. So that's the kind of the theme of the show with Rich.
That's the name of the segment.
It is.
I mean, it's
The
right,
Less You
it's right in the
Know.
title.
It's right there.
It's, truth in advertising.
Morning.
Rich, you're up to the plate. It's your
I
turn
am
at
up to the
bat.
plate.
Yes.
You guys do this stuff so well. That's
Number
a great
7,
segue.
Rich Perlberg.
Yeah.
Up to bat.
Yeah.
What would your walk-up music be?
That's a good question.
They didn't have that when we were kids.
No,
you
not
know what
at
I
all.
mean?
I
When
know,
when did
I
that
know.
start? Was that like a early 2000s
I would say that's like a
thing?
90s.
I think it was earlier than that because
Okay.
we used to have guys. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mine would have been pretty boring. I'm pretty sure. Maybe something by Iron Butterfly, and it got it.
Take it.
That's a long walk.
up to the plate.
What are you coming in from center field?
People going to the pee
I
and
couldn't
beer
do
break.
that anymore. Now with the new rules, they call 3 strikes
That's
on
true.
me because
That's
I didn't get in there. But holy cow, you guys got me wondering now. I wonder what they're going to find buried under the streets of Brighton.
I don't know.
Yeah, you've been around for a long time, Rich. You know anything?
Do you remember them driving the Model Ts into the... Okay, I'm sorry.
I did drive a Model T for a while, yeah. But no, there was now this isn't Brighton, but if in Howell, it was one of these ridiculous stories that some people would believe that decades ago there was a circus in town and an elephant died and they didn't know what to do with it, so they just buried it right in Howell.
Everybody bring a shovel to downtown. Yeah.
Always interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Either way, I know the merchants in downtown Brighton are like, what now?
Yeah, no kidding.
So...
maybe they could turn it into a promotion, to come to see what's been buried beneath the streets.
Kind of like one of
What
those.
was it Geraldo did something like that? Wanted
maybe
to see what was in a crypt, you know?
Maybe
You guys could kind of
Maybe just hide some jewelry down there, and because they've done that before, where you dig through the sand.
When you think about it, like
what a great way to get work
about
done.
like a U-Pick strawberry farm or apple farm, where people come and they actually, You think about it,
They
they're
do the
paying
work
you
for you.
to do the work. Maybe they should
I
do that
know.
with the streetscape
Yeah.
project. Hey, come on and grab a shovel, everyone.
You see some area that
I,
needs a little more
I had
work.
tried that once. So in my first house, you mow lawn.
Yeah.
You came and paid me to mow my lawn, but didn't go very well.
Didn't take off, huh? Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes with my
yeah.
fitness clients, I go, "We got some slow cardio for today. You just have to mow my lawn, and you pay me for that."
Right.
I can see that. I
doesn't
think if the internet had been around, I could have marketed better.
Right, it is all about the marketing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, of
Okay.
course, we alluded earlier about baseball, talking, of course, this is Miguel Cabrera's Miggy's final year, saying farewell.
Well, I think some of the cool things with Miggy leaving is the other teams when he visits there, they're giving him stuff and presenting things.
Well, I saw when he was in
didn't
Kansas
somebody
City,
give him a toilet?
when he was in Kansas City, they gave him a rocking chair.
Yeah. That was.
I was like, and I'm like, and that kind of made me laugh in a little way because, the thing is Miggy's not in the best of shape. The one game I saw this year a couple weeks ago, he did manage to hit a bloop single, and everyone was like, they all cheered like it was a over the fence homer, and then the guy behind me, I remember him just going, "So this is what it's come to? We're cheering for bloop singles now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, kind of."
Well, it's kind of sad, really.
Yeah, when you think about it, I mean, is to go out in kind of a slumper, but the season's early, but.
I mean,
he's got. You're gonna be mad at me, but I did some research. He's got all of 15 hits this year, and only 3 doubles, 12 singles. He's hitting 187.
Has he hit a homer yet?
No. 3 doubles or his own extra base. I don't know if he'll ever get another extra base hit.
I don't know either. I mean, when in the bloop single that he did get for the game I saw, I mean, they immediately put in a pinch runner.
Yep.
And so, there was a column last week on M Live, and the columnist was basically saying, like, look, Miggy, of course, first ballot Hall of Famer. No one's doubting that. What a great career, and the Tigers obviously are going to celebrate his final year. So he's got a roster spot. No one's questioning that. It's the question of should he be in the lineup on a regular basis.
Well, wait a minute. If you're a season ticket holder, or even if you're a fan going down to Comerica, you expect to see Miggy in the lineup, whether it's one at bat or not. I mean, at least one at bat.
But here it is, partly because they're in probably the worst division in the league.
There's no probably about it.
Okay. Are they in second place still?
See, I'm trying. John's shaming me a little bit about being too negative, so I was trying to be.
Okay, sorry.
They're all of 2.5 games out of first place.
Yeah, look at that.
So him in the lineup is actually hurting their chances to win.
If they want a chance to pull off a wild card, I don't think they're going to win.
They're not going to get a wild card.
Yeah.
They're way out of the wild card.
That's true too. No, you're right.
The division.
I guess
If
that's
it gets
true.
to the point where they're saying, just lean into the take one for the team, Miggy. Kind of like Engelbert or that kid in Bad News Bears
or Coach. Cheers.
Hey! That was my hidden talent in baseball. Getting hit by a pitch.
Got 6 bruises this week. It was a good week.
But the thing is, years ago when Illich was there, and he really wanted a World Series team, and he just was opening up the checkbook, and they signed Miggy to a bazillion-dollar contract for many years.
Right.
And at the time, it was clear. I mean, he was a power hitter who had a big frame,
Beautiful
who wasn't going to
swing.
stay in shape. So you knew by the end of the career he wasn't going to be doing it.
Right.
That's the deal. He could have retired last year, but he would have walked away from $30 million.
Right.
So.
It's like getting a balloon mortgage on your home.
There you go. Yeah, balloon being the key word here.
The air's running out of that thing.
Your payments are low now, but I'll worry about later. And we're at the later.
But the Tigers are paying for that. I mean, they wrote off. I think it was Victor Martinez got hurt, so they went off and signed Prince Fielder to another huge contract, and that didn't turn out well. Mm-hmm. So they had all this money they've spent, which is one of the reasons they couldn't go after Max Scherzer when Scherzer demanded more money. And that started the downturn.
That really was the decision not to sign Max Scherzer. And And like you said, he
I
wanted
would
a
have tried to find
ton
that money.
of money, but God,
Yeah.
find a way to pay him because look, between Scherzer and Verlander, I mean, they're still pitching.
They're still pitching. They just won a doubleheader Sunday,
Right.
You know,
and pitching
So,
well. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was sort of the beginning of the end, but it does bring into focus the intertwining, obviously, it always has been the case of business and baseball.
Yeah, but if you think about it, when you look at the money, all right, let's look at the money. How many days?
Where is
How
it?
many? When you look at the money that was shelled out for Verlander and Scherzer per game, Miggy played way more games than them. They pitched in every fourth or fifth game, right?
Right,
And Miggy's in all those games, and the draw is you got a home run hitter, so they made that money early on.
Yeah,
That's true.
get it
That
back.
was
That was
spreading out a contract. Yeah,
that was the bargain. I mean, that was the deal. Like, we're going to give you this ton of money that you'll be getting for years and years to come. I mean, really, this is his pension, except he's not retired yet. You know, he's getting his pension, but he's still.
It's kind of like the buyout,
You know.
at retirement time.
But I think Mike brings up.
while we're talking, dude, what type of pension do I get on this show, guys?
The same as we're getting.
Yeah.
What is a pension? Anyway?
That seems fair. I like that. You guys are the Ben and Jerry of podcast.
Oh God, yeah, we believe in equality all the way across. But Mike brings up a good point. Is that for people coming out to the ballpark, which they're struggling to get people to come to the ballpark.
Oh my gosh,
It's expensive. But they want to see Miggy. And so the Tigers are balancing this. Well, God, we can't have him.
You kind of have to give the people what they want.
But
even if
on
he's
the other
not that
hand,
great
are
at
we
this
not
point.
here to try and win and compete and get to the playoffs? And if the Tigers somehow magically could pull off any playoff appearance this year, man, that will be a miracle. And the manager Hinch, that will be something that he was brought here to do.
Well, I think any manager, if you look at it, they're going to have to kind of play around their weakest link. And I don't know that you would call Miggy the weakest link at this point, but maybe so. They got to manage around that. Right. So you just say, well, I know I've got to do this with this guy. Well, how can I build the team and work the team and the players around that to make it as successful as possible?
I think you start him in a lot of games, and then you pull him after at least one at bat. You get, especially when he's in these visiting ballparks, because all the visiting ballparks want to, have a moment of, hey, this is Miggy's final season, and have their, so give him that moment, I think. But
the only problem with that, now I think Hinch is doing really, really well. He's not doing it with just Miggy. He's taking a bunch of fairly average to below average players and moving them around according to the matchup and situations. And if you put Miggy in for one at bat and pull him, you start limiting your options later in the game.
Right.
So I don't, but I mean, I think that's what they're going to be doing. He'll probably only bat against left-handed pitchers.
Right.
And he can't run. I mean, the fact that he got 3 doubles is pretty amazing.
there was last week, I think there was, I forgot who they were playing. I forgot who it was, but they had it on YouTube. MLB, they even featured it. He hit this little bloop bunt or whatever, infield single, and it went right to the pitcher. And the pitcher, I forgot, himself was a mid-40s guy, and but 2 old guys racing to first base.
Are we watching a game at the Villages?
I mean, it really was.
It's like the family reunion picnic. And Uncle John and your dad are playing for.
And Miggy almost made. He was called out, but I mean, it was like 2 slow rollers to the first to the bag, and.
Do you know what one of the biggest embarrassments in the game would be is if you gave up an infield single to Miggy.
Either that or they kept him. If they kept him in the run and he stole a base, because he has stolen bases and surprised people before. So
well, the bases are
bigger
this year.
As good as he is, he's a pretty clever ball player. There's
he's a smart player.
When he's been at second base and the pitcher wasn't paying attention and he stole third base on him.
Yeah.
He's very quick. He's very quick-minded, not quick running, but
well, I don't know what his plans are, but I mean, obviously, if he wants to stay in Major League Baseball, he'll have a spot somewhere as at least.
Well, he's got an extra family he's got to support, so he's got to keep that.
I think he's unless he's been hitting the casino. I think he's got a few bucks put away.
I would hope he's got a little, at least a 401k or something.
But he would be a great. But you're right. I mean, but think about. I mean, his expertise at hitting he would be, say, a great hitting instructor or somebody that, you could have in that position. Or he could go into the front office. I mean, even if it's just a show position where it's like, here's your desk, here's your secretary, just
here's your coffee.
You just show up with
they try to sell him as being a good influence on the players and stuff like that. And he could be. I mean, he loves the game. He messes around when he gets on base. He jokes with the other players. But he is into the game. There's a great video of him when he was young playing for Florida, I guess. And he was getting an intentional pass. And the guy, how they just lobbed the ball in.
Right.
Well, the ball came too close, and he took and swung and hit a home run all of a sudden.
Hey, that's fair.
Well, and you know what?
Yeah, totally.
As a fielder, he's great at the hidden ball trick too. He's caught a couple of guys sleeping on that. So good, something else he could teach.
As we close this out, I mean, I guess you mentioned Florida. He won the series with the Marlins, and we know he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. And it's like, whose uniform will he be wearing into the Hall of Fame?
I gotta believe it's the Tigers. He's got most of his.
I'd like to think that too, but it wouldn't shock me if it was put a Marlins hat on.
Yeah, but he's been treated. It's not like he's got a bad relationship here. The fans have been good to him. He's got the majority of his stuff. What is he? One of only a handful of players who's got both 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. So he's pretty amazing.
Yeah, show a little respect, John.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you should be.
So I will say this just to show that I'm playing the math. You guys were using 80%.
Yeah.
It could be worse in Detroit. The Oakland Athletics have lost 80% of their games.
Wow. Oh, we got that going.
That's 8 out of 10, John.
Oh, let me do the calculations. Hold on.
It was actually 40 out of 50. Who loses that? So that's. But we will say one thing, since you were talking about, I think it was a trivia question, and somebody wanted eternal life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think eternal life would be watching the Oakland A's play football or baseball.
even during the game being sped up like it is now.
Not be the definition of either hell or purgatory. Like the Oakland A's game that never ends.
Hey kids, we're going to the Oakland A's game. What did I do?
Why?
It's the old joke, right? Yeah. We're having a contest. First prize is 2 tickets to the Oakland A's. Second prize is 4 tickets to the Oakland A's.
All right, Rich. Appreciate it. Of course, we talk with you every Thursday, and we'll get those pension payments out.
Yeah,
really
coming.
soon.
They're in there.
Do you know less than you did before we started?
God, yes,
I think so.
All right.
All right.
Mission accomplished.
All right.
Rich. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
We were mentioning early on about drumming.
Yes.
Not Mr. Drummond.
No. What you talking about?
From what's happening.
Yeah.
Heck, no. We're talking actually drumming.
Right.
Drummers.
There's a drumming circle going on this weekend, and we're going to find out more about that. It's in Brighton. And
it's not in downtown Brighton on the street.
No, it's not. No,
I'm just checking because that could be a little.
Let me get. We're going to be talking with Steven Vimr, who will be leading the drum circle for the Community Unitarian Universalists of Brighton, also known as CUUB. And so we're going to find out more about
CUUB?
Well,
there's 2 U's. Oh, the user is busy, it says.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Well, we'll try. Maybe he's
drumming. I don't know. So, again, this Saturday at the Community Unitarian Universalists, they'll be doing this drum circle, and Steven's been leading these.
Apparently, he's really busy.
Hold on. Let me just.
Do you want to try calling the number?
Yeah, give me your.
All right. I guess 3rd time's a charm with your phone. I dialed the number.
Hello.
Hi, is this Steven?
It is.
Hey, Steven, it's Mike and John from Mike and John Got It Going On. We're talking about the drum circle.
Guys.
How you doing?
Yes. I'm doing well. We're driving down to work together. How are you?
Good. So, we were talking again this Saturday, starting at 4 o'clock. You'll be leading this drum circle for the Community Unitarian Universalists, and this is something you've been doing for quite a while.
It is. I started back in 2005 with some just big training. I got involved a little bit more through school. I got a music minor along with a bachelor's in psychology from Oakland University, so I was able to get professionally trained in that way. And then to further on, I've met many people throughout my years. Most recently, Jamie Artman, who's a very good friend of mine. She's a music therapist and a certified music facilitator. So we've been able to do a lot in the community. And people at CUUB found out that I was a drummer and loved to share my experiences and my talents. And so here we are with them.
Yeah, and your experiences, you actually were trained with the peoples in West Africa, correct?
Yes. So I'm very fortunate for that. Peoples from Guinea and Ghana and Ivory Coast, traditional African rhythms that I know and have been able to teach along the way, and perform as well. So what we've been able to do at CUUB thus far is do a split of teaching a little bit of an traditional African style, and then go into kind of a little bit more free-flowing drum circle, if you will. So it's fun. It's very fun.
So is this, for those that have never heard of the drum circles before, I know with this going on Saturday, the 27th, you have a lesson starting at 4 that goes for about a half hour or so, and then the drum circle. So is this something you're going to provide drums for, or people bring their own, or maybe rent them somewhere? How does this all work?
Yeah, so I have a pretty big stash of drums that I loan out, bring there, and then again, Jamie has hers as well. So generally, there are more than enough instruments for everybody. People bring their own instruments as well. It's encouraged if you have them, but it's not just drums or shakers and bells and other percussion instruments that we encourage.
And so for folks that come out or even bring their own or use some of yours that do this, well, I like your motto here. If you have a heart, you have a beat.
Yes.
and as you mentioned, you're a clinical psychologist. So talk to me, I guess, like the therapy, I guess, of participating in a drum circle.
Yeah, like is there angry drumming and happy drumming?
Right.
I mean, I would imagine there is. If you're mad, sometimes you're pounding a little harder.
It is all of the above, actually, and in different environments. In clinical settings, yes, we teach that through people that have had suffered like brain traumas and such. So there's a little bit of different activity going on there from the patients or somebody that's in recovery from drugs or alcohol. So yeah, that is a little bit different type, but it is healing in its own way. The connection to the drum, being able to kind of step out of our boxes, right? There's many people that haven't touched a musical instrument in their life, let alone a drum. So it's a bit intimidating, but we make it as low key and non-judgmental as possible, and build a wonderful community of rhythm. And again, the healing part of it is there's so much research backing it at this point with regards to what it does for us. With regards to lowering our blood pressure, which in turn lowers anxiety. There's other things with healing. If you've got, again, going back to people that have suffered like a brain trauma where they're physically injured, or from a stroke where the one side of the body does not work as well. Left to right helps rebuild some of those neural pathways for those people. And so, yeah.
And then I guess Mike said, the first half hour from 4 to 4:30 is the drum lesson, and then the circle takes place for the next hour.
Yes.
And so, obviously you get a lot of people together. They all have drums or percussion instruments, but you have to get the beat. You have to get a rhythm going, or it's just a cacophony of sound. So is that part of the lesson to try and, like, you're the conductor, I guess, in a certain sense, to set that rhythm?
And Jamie and I both are in a different aspect. So, I introduced a traditional African rhythm, which essentially, all these rhythms are very simple, but how they combine are very tricky. And so I didn't want to throw too much of that at them. But yeah, I taught a very basic traditional African rhythm that I teach the history of the rhythm. I explained the ancient of the drum itself, how it was constructed. And then Jamie brings in her facilitation, where yes, the cacophony of sounds is good, but she kind of directs those sounds in a very exciting and happy kind of manner. I'm not sure if you know or been part of a drum facilitation at all, but she will kind of guide the crowd side by side. We'll do some call and response. and it's a great time.
And who traditionally shows up for these? I mean, like you said, it's open to all, but like who really has been coming out and enjoying these?
Yeah, anybody and everybody is welcome. When we first started, this will be our third session, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been community, people from church there, family and friends, but it's certainly open to the public. We would like to do this part of the community, outreach and networking that CUUB does, offer this to, again, everybody and anybody. And getting back to that motto about if you have a heart, you have a beat. People are intimidated by, picking up anything, but that is true. You have that heartbeat, that steady, basic heartbeat. And if that's all you end up playing on your percussion instrument is that basic heartbeat, there you go. You fit in, right?
Yeah. So for the drums themselves, for those that bring their own, let's talk about different stylings that have showed up at the other events that you've had and that you expect for this one. I know it looks like by the ones we've had pictured here, these are more. What type of drums do you call those?
The taller drums. These are
the tribal. Am I right on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like a snare? Do you get those? Your traditional.
Does somebody start setting up like they're going to be doing a concert here? Hey, Neil Peart, what are you doing?
Just to clarify for people so they know what to expect.
Yes. Right. And by the way, yes, Neil Peart and Rush, my favorite band of all time.
Awesome.
So thank you for that. So in what I teach, there's basic djembe, which is a tree trunk, very hardwood tree trunk that is hand carved inside and out. The skin that's on the top is typically a goat skin, dried goat skin and stretched, and it gives three different types of notes. There's bass, a tone, and a slap. So you ask about a snare. One of those notes that we hit on the djembe is resembling a snare. So there's not an actual snare drum, if per will, like a drum kit has.
Right.
But you will get those three different sounds out of that djembe. And then people do bring, again, the shakers and the bells that can all fit in those other parts as well.
So these are mostly played with your hands. There's no sticks, that kind of thing.
The djembes are very sensitive, and those are hands only.
Yeah. Some
of the other, the smaller hand drums can be played with a stick or a mallet with a soft head on it. So yes.
So what's the best skin? What's the most responsive skin for sound on? I'm curious. I mean, you're talking about skins. Skins.
Just I never thought you'd be asking that question.
Is there sensitive skins?
It's the thickness of the skin.
Yeah.
But it also is going to depend on the actual build of the drum itself, the core, the shell, the trunk, the wood. So I have a couple of goat skin djembes. I actually have quite a few, but the two that are my babies that I play all the time. But then there's steps up with a horse hide, which is a little bit thicker, and you get a much higher tone and some things like that. But
now let me ask you this, Steven, and I mean this in all sincerity. You hear of guitarists naming their guitars. Do you name your drums? You got your favorite drum.
You got your babies. She called them your babies. Do they have names?
This is a little Steve, I mean.
Yeah. I really have a hard time when people go reaching for it, and I guess maybe people don't know, right? So you have that's your instrument and hands off. Please ask me.
Steven doesn't share his drums with the other drummer.
He shares all. He shares all his drums, just not these two babies. These are the babies.
Actually, I do allow people to, as long as they have their jewelry off.
Right.
For one reason or another, that will hurt your hand more than it'll hurt the drum. But yeah. The drums are quite expensive, and popping that head is a chore and a cost. So
sure.
But you didn't tell us if you name them.
Yeah. Do they have names?
Oh no, I don't
No?
have names.
Oh, see, that'll be
No.
something for you guys to discuss in the
Sorry.
circle. Let's name the drum.
We'll do that. Yes, I'll bring that up.
Right. So again,
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really does. And again, that's happening this Saturday at 4:00 at the Community Unitarian Universalists of Brighton. They're on Old US 23.
Really easy to remember. 3333.
South
Old
US
2023.
Right. And
There you go.
Yeah, 4 to 4:30 the drum lesson, 4:30 to 5:30 is the drum circle. And you said you've done a few of these so far, and looking forward to doing more of these into the future.
Yeah, what's your average attendance?
Anywhere between 25 and 30-ish.
Wow,
So
that's
that's
awesome.
a pretty good amount of people. Yeah, for sure.
You know, if possible, I'd love to get a picture of you guys on Saturday and maybe send that back to us.
Or if you want to send us a little audio
sure.
or video
Yeah.
of a song.
Yeah, that would be really be cool.
You said you were
we'll do
driving, Steven. Have you been playing the dashboard along the way? I had a buddy that was
Not
a
as-
dashboard drummer when we were going to school in high school.
Always,
Yeah,
yes.
I
I
bet.
know people look over
Practice.
me and yes, practice makes perfect, right?
There you go. All right.
So if you were to do a solo, your go-to solo, Steven, what is it?
Oh, on the steering wheel?
Well, no, it could be steering wheel, it could be your drums, whatever it is. You're doing that solo.
Yeah. I think Tom Sawyer by
There you go.
by
Look at
Rush,
that.
obviously.
Yeah,
that-
absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, all right. Well, see, but that's actually, I think that's interesting because, like you said, you've got this, West African experience and training, and you've got these authentic tribal drums.
There you go,
and
off to Canada.
But then I think it's
No.
you can still find the more contemporary
Sure.
type of drumming that people enjoy as well. So it sounds like a lot of fun. And
Does it
It is,
cost
and we've
anything?
No, it's free to the
Okay.
general public. We'd love to see you guys if you want to come. Bring some people too.
All right, Saturday afternoon, May 27th, 4 to 4:30, the lesson, and then the drum circle from 4:30 to 5:30.
And are
Yes.
you going to be doing these like every month or so? Is it once a month?
Yeah,
or-
they've been once a month.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, Steven Vimr with the Community Unitarian Universalists of Brighton, thank you so much for joining us. And have a great drum circle this
Yeah,
weekend.
rock on, Tom Sawyer.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
All
Same
right,
here.
Steven, take care.
All right.
Drive safe.
You too. Talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A lot of fun. Yeah, I've never played any of those styles of drums. I'm not very good at the beat. I have no rhythm.
Yeah, well,
I do have a heartbeat. But
so
maybe I just go with that.
what are you going to do?
Bump, bump, the telltale.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. But it does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. All right, so 2-cent history lesson for today. Today is May 25th. It's National Brown Baggot Day. What do you got in the lunch bag today? PB&J? Bologna and mustard?
I don't know.
No. It's National Wine Day. Some may be doing that.
I got a wine in my bag.
I got some wine. That's all I got. That's my brown baggot.
Hey! It's Brown Bag Day! I heard about Mike and John.
You may find us underneath the underpass in Grand River and I-96. It's National Missing Children's Day and Towel Day today.
Do you have a favorite towel?
I used to have a favorite beach towel.
Okay. Right. Because they use
Budweiser.
patterns or a picture on there or something.
The Budweiser girls.
There you go. Was that
Back
what
in
it
the
was?
70s.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That didn't
Well,
survive your
we had a-
marriage.
we had a
I'm
draw-
assuming that was
we-
something that didn't quite make it out
Well,
of the
the
bachelor
Jaws
pad.
towel we had was actually thicker, so you could dry off more. The Budweiser one, it kind of had that Holiday Inn towel feel to it.
The
It was
rough edge.
kind of sand you. If you wanted to get rid of dead skin, that was the one.
I'm exfoliating too.
So could kids today walk around with a Budweiser towel?
No.
I
Well, you
ask.
remember you used to go to carnivals and get like a Jack Daniels mirror.
Yeah.
You'd play a game of, here's your Jack Daniels
The
mirror,
carny
kid.
gives you that one.
You want a carton of Winston's? You're like, wow, the
Here's an
70s
ashtray,
sure
too.
are different.
On this day in 1895, the first book on golf was published.
Oh.
It was called Golf in America.
Oh. It wasn't Dorfunkel?
No, it wasn't Dorfine Golf.
Okay.
Amelia Earhart in 1928 was the first woman, or became the first woman, to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. Excuse me. Yeah. Didn't get any meals on that flight. 1937, the first airmail letter to circle the globe returned to New York. So did it get to its destination if it circled the world and then ended up back and circled the globe? They were just testing the
return to sender. I mean, what happened there?
Not enough postage. Arthur C. Clarke.
Artie to his friends.
Yeah, I think they, or just Art.
Yeah.
Artie, it's time for dinner. 1945, Arthur C. Clarke proposed the idea of positioning a relay satellite in the geosynchronous orbit, which later became the foundation for satellites.
Right.
So
He's a science fiction writer,
watch
one of the great science fiction writers. And a lot of times science fiction turns into science fact down the road, but a lot of times it doesn't.
He also thought that man would be watching you from those satellites up there.
Oh, they're not watching.
Or is it China that's floating a balloon satellite over? St. Louis's Gateway Arch was dedicated on this day in 1968. 1968.
Ever been in the arch?
I have never been in the arch. I do know that since it was 68 and they put up that arch, that the St. Louis Cardinals lost to the Tigers in the World Series, 1968.
And then they
blamed it on the arch.
And then they beat us twice.
Never mind. It was 1968. You've been in the Golden Arch? I mean, the Gateway Arch.
Oh, I've been in the Golden Arch. Yeah, I've ridden that ride a few times. But yes, I've been in the Great Arch,
and was it great? The Gateway.
It was. It is an amazing.
Gateway to the
it's an
west,
amazing
right?
structure, and they have a little elevator thing that takes you up to the top. Except and you expect it to be like an elevator. But when it opens up, it's more like a carnival ride. You should get in there, and you're kind of like on this little bench, and then they put and there's two people on each side, and it's kind of one of those things that like rocks like that, and because it is built, because it's and so it does go up there in that fashion. But you're just like.
Did they stop at the top?
They do. And you get out and there's a little observation deck up there.
That's nice.
But I remember when they opened the door to the thing, I'm like, am I going to fit through that thing? The last thing you want is
he's stuck.
He's stuck. Hundreds of people behind you. Oh, man.
Somebody get the WD-40.
Oh, come on.
1981. Daredevil Daniel Goodwin, wearing a Spider-Man costume,
of course,
scaled the outside of Chicago's Sears Tower in 7.5 hours. Spider-Man.
Wow.
Does whatever a spider can. So it's not the Sears Towers anymore.
No, it was the Willis Tower, and I think it's not even called that technically
not
anymore.
What you talking about, Jack?
I think. Did we just make two different stroke references
in one show? How about that? 1986. 7 million Americans formed Hands Across America.
Oh, yes, they did.
On this day, 1986. Where were you?
Watching on TV.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
I'm like, okay.
And that guy washed his hands.
There's nothing about that at all entices me. I'm not.
It was a fundraise something.
I know it was. Yeah,
I think so.
It was some sort of. Yeah, I don't know.
In the 80s, we did a lot of that here in this country, feeding the world and
making
Band-Aid and Hands Across America. Now we are like, you're on your own.
Hit the road.
Good luck. Jay Leno in 1992 became the new host of The Tonight Show following Johnny Carson's 30-year run. Remember the battle with him and David Letterman, both in the running?
And, got a little bitter there.
It did get a little bitter.
They made a movie, I think it was called Late Night Wars, I think, or something. But it was...
I think it turned
pretty
out
dark.
To be okay.
I think they both, turned out all
They were both probably in the back room just going, who do you think's going to win this thing?
Right.
You want another beer? Let's go check out Jay's car collection.
Yeah.
And finally,
David Letterman says, someday I'm going to look like Santa Claus.
And Jay said, my hair with the little gray part, it's going to be opposite when I get older. That's what he said. And I'm going to be on a show with Tim Allen.
Yeah, okay.
All right. 2011, the Oprah Winfrey Show aired its final broadcast after a 25-year run.
Really? Was it
25 years?
Wow, right.
Oprah. Well, I don't know if that. I'm going to assume that counts the pre-syndication when she was just in
Chicago. Yeah.
So, and that is our 2-cent history lesson.
Whatever happened to Oprah? I never hear about her.
I don't either. Didn't she buy her own network?
Oh my God, Oprah runs the world. Yeah. It's really Oprah's world.
Maybe she'll be the next pope.
Yeah.
Chopra.
Or Popra.
Pulpra.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our 2 cent history lesson and some intriguing thoughts for the day and the weekend.
Very intriguing.
If you're traveling this weekend, by the way, you want to make sure your car is ready for the road this weekend or this summer. Stop by and see our friends at Murphy's Family Auto.
Yep.
Make sure it's in a line, the oil's ready and filled up and changed. Windshield wipers for just such an occasion of rain. Or heck, yeah, who knows? You might even hit snow here in Michigan. It was 40 degrees this morning, so.
Was it really that cold?
You just don't know what you're going to get.
I haven't been outside. I don't know.
Tell Murphy's that Mike and John sent you and you get a 5% discount.
Yes, you do.
How about that?
Check them out online, murphysfamilyauto.com, or give them a call, 517-552-3040. Murphy's Family Auto.
Hey, we'll have another question coming up tonight in Thursday Night Trivia, and then again tomorrow we'll do the big drawing, courtesy of Jordan Genso, show sponsor, for $100 in gift cards.
Right.
As Main Street May continues.
Right. The winner will pick up those certificates at LR Bowl.
Through the taco window, maybe?
Yeah, maybe they will.
I don't know.
But did you know that LR Bowl stands for the tree?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Our bowl, when you think about it, it's like arbor. Like
Right.
trees. See,
Right.
like Ann Arbor.
Very
There's a lot
good.
of trees that are anns in Ann Arbor.
Bueno, senor.
Mucho
Yeah.
bueno.
All right. Adios.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.